Welcome to Tellypathic, your visit to the world of episodic telly with a strong backbone of Star Trek. We are your two hosts who are mad about telly, Mark and Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hey Mark, how's it going?
Not bad, not bad.
It's been
And
a
what?
while. It's been a
Yeah, it's been a
while, isn't
while.
it?
Well, life, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So it is. But I mean, the last one we did was Tombs, wasn't it? X-Files Tombs,
Yes, that was our
and
first
we're
X-Files episode, yeah.
and and I think that was my choice, and this is your choice.
Yeah.
So tell it. I mean, it'll be the title, so everyone knows. But tell us anyway what
But
they do.
yeah. So obviously, yeah, you brought us into the X-Files universe, and one of the season one episodes that always sticks in my brain is this episode, which is Ice.
Yeah, ice. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a worm in your brain, isn't it? This one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, there's I think there's a lot to talk about it. I think it's a really solid episode, and I just wanted to chat with you about it because obviously, you're the king of X-Files, so I thought, yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about it. Why
I
not?
mean, I mean, season one probably has three absolutely brilliant episodes, and then a number of really good ones, and then a couple of really fun ones that aren't great but still fun. And Ice, I'd say, is up. Tombs is one of them. Ice is another, and probably Beyond the Seas another. And biting at their
Mm.
heels is stuff like Darkness Falls, uh,
Yeah,
Squeeze, the
which I
sequel.
almost picked actually. I almost
Yeah,
picked Darkness Falls, but they're very similar episodes.
yeah.
I feel like Ice is better, but yeah. Shall
Well,
I quickly?
Ice came first, but it sets up a template that they reused in Darkness Falls and a few other episodes. But yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So I will give a real quick breakdown of Ice. So it starts off in like this Arctic um research facility where some dudes are um well it's yeah, it opens with like a dog is there, and then suddenly there's like dead bodies, and then there's these two guys fighting, and they fight for a bit, and then this guy gets in front of a camera and he broadcasts out somewhere, we don't know where, and he says, "We are not us. We are not us anymore. It can't get any further," or something like that. He says to the camera, and then another guy comes and they start fighting, and then they end up shooting each other, and it cuts to Mulder and
No, they
Scully.
don't. They end up
Well, they shoot each other. They
finishing
shoot
each other up.
themselves.
They decide mutually without even discussion that they're going to shoot themselves, right?
They shoot themselves. Yeah,
So
sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, they
yeah,
commit
yeah.
suicide together.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then it cuts to Mulder, and he's basically explaining to Scully that they've got this tape of this guy saying this weird stuff, and then suddenly a fight breaks out. And that's the last they heard from this research facility. So they need to go out to the Arctic and investigate what happened. And obviously they get there, they find out that the ice is harboring a very old, possibly alien, possibly um ancient creature
Yeah,
in the ice,
yeah.
which essentially attaches to your what did they say? It's like the
Hypothalamus. Hypothalamus.
hypothalamus, right? Which controls our violence, and makes you basically hyper violent. And them and a couple of scientists that are there are basically stuck there trying to make sure that it doesn't escape the Arctic and get into the human populace. Um, and various shenanigans ensue.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's an exercise in paranoia, pretty
Mm.
much. And it ratchets up real fast. They've only got 45 minutes. It ratchets up very, very fast. Um,
Yeah, indeed.
this was directed by David Nutt, who is legendarily good at pilots and stuff like that, right? For all
Right.
sorts of different series, he's quite well known in the industry because he delivers, right? And you can kind of
Right.
see he knows exactly what he's doing here. Um, and this one also written by Glenn Morgan, James Wong, who was a great writing team and worked on the X Files. Were the progenitors of the Final Destination series. Worked on Millennium. Worked on The Lone Gunman. They're a great pair of writers, and they really were. Chris Carter really got lucky with these two as a pair of writers, and you can kind of see that the writing's really good in this, right? It just
Yeah.
totally
Yeah, I mean
works.
for 45 minutes of telly, it's really really tight. I mean,
God, doesn't it zip by as well? You watch it
yeah.
and you think, bloody hell, I feel like I've only watched 20 minutes because
Yeah,
it's
they
so
pack a lot in that 45
engaging.
minutes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really engaging.
And and obviously like the big elephant in the room, right, is that this is essentially the thing without it
Yes.
being the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um and we can talk I've got a bunch of notes on comparisons to the thing. But what they do in that 45 minutes is they do a thing light and they do it pretty decent justice. For
Mm.
the 45 minutes they've got and like the small cast they have and the small amount of sets. I thought it was actually really impressive what they achieved. Which, maybe speaks to the formula that the thing has is actually really,
Oh
really
yeah, it
solid.
was a deliberate nod to the thing. I mean, there's a character called Campbell, and Campbell was the writer of the original story that the thing, both versions of the thing are based on. Who goes there? Joseph Campbell.
Yeah. And the opening
So
shot,
it's yeah,
literally the opening shot, right? They play with the audience, right? So the opening shot is the Arctic
yeah.
types out like, Arctic base or something, and then
It's
it
this
cuts
architect
immediately.
up. Yeah, go on.
It's immediately to a dog.
Yes.
Which, if you remember the opening, the thing is like a wolf, or is a
No,
dog
it's a
or
husky. It's a
a
husky
husky
running
running
across the ice.
across.
But there is a section
Yeah,
early in the film where the dog is just wandering around the base, just like this dog is wandering around. Right.
yeah, yeah. So the audience is like probably predispositioned to, because everyone loves specifically that John Carpenter's the thing. They are immediately thinking that the dog is has got something wrong with it, right? The dog is the
Yeah.
alien or something like that. And so
Hmm.
it's good. Um, I had so that yeah, this opening.
Yeah.
The guys they're fighting each other, and he puts out that really ominous message, and they kill each other. I actually had a note for the writers. Now, if yeah, I'm definitely wrong, but riddle me this though. Imagine the same episode, but you don't show the stuff happening in the base. You just watch the tape that Mulder and Scully watch as the start of the episode.
Hmm.
And you discover everything they discover. Like you see like the guys that killed themselves. Do you know what I mean? I feel like so much of the like mystery and horror gets revealed right at the start that there's something wrong with these guys. I mean, it's a bit X-Filesy. Like you usually get a really good clue as to what's happening in the episode in the opening gambit, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like a mystery would have been a little bit nicer here. Like I feel like um
Well, I'm
you would
not
have been
sure.
more
I mean,
invested in
yeah.
like I didn't think it added a lot and it just
Oh, I thought it
revealed
was great,
tons.
actually. I thought it really set up a sort of tense what's going on here because you don't know what's going on there. It doesn't reveal what's actually happening, does it? It just reveals there's been mayhem and death. And
It's
I
true, but
kind of
you
like the sweaty turn, the two guys. They're in this
yeah, that's good.
Arctic base, but they're sweating their balls off pretty much, and they kind of have realised they want to stop whatever it is, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I like it. I
mm,
just think that like my brain immediately goes to oh that well, there's something wrong with them. They're obviously fighting because you're immediately thinking of the thing. Is one of them think they're an alien or something like that, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, these
Um
two could be. Was it Murphy and the other Keith David's character at the end of
yeah.
the thing? Really, couldn't they?
Yeah, they
Actually,
could they exactly. And I'm just like it would have been cool to just go in cold like Mulder and Scully did.
yeah,
I feel like it would have left because if you just got that, you almost wouldn't have the same predispositions I had, right?
yeah. Funny enough, I was
But
thinking while they were watching the videotape, they could have actually stretched that out longer because watching a videotape of weird events unfolding is quite a good
scary.
tension builder, right?
Yeah, and it's
Uh, they
scary, right?
they did it in the early Quatermass films, for example, and it worked quite well. And it's kind of almost like a precursor to found footage, isn't it? In a way, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
well, what's the other example? The Joker in The Dark Knight, right, where he's like interrogating that guy, and he's got the VHS camera.
yes, yes, it
Like
adds a
it's
claustrophobia, doesn't it? Yeah,
it's a type of horror that is difficult to explain, but it's definitely there. And I feel like if you just cold opened with them watching that tape, I feel like it would have been a lot more horror, a lot more gripping. Whereas, we had the fight scene, which was quite tense, and like you say, it was a good scene. But then when Mulder and Scully show up at the base and you see the two guys dead, you know what's happened. You figured it out.
yeah.
You saw it
Well,
happen.
yeah,
I think it would have been cooler to make the audience make the leap that, oh, did they kill each other? Did you know what I mean? Like the suicide thing could have been
yeah,
revealed
yeah,
later or something
maybe.
like that. I don't know.
I've
Yeah,
got to say, I've got
just
no complaints really. I really like it. It just occurred to me this time. They could have stretched out that because it's a bit weird, really. Because watching a recording of something should be one step removed from what
the event.
you.
Yeah.
However, what it does do is add a feeling of authenticity and reality that you know it feels like they are watching the real events instead of oh it's just a
Yeah.
TV episode, TV scene.
Well,
um
you get to direct twice, right? You get to direct the footage that they're watching and then direct the reactions to the footage being watched, which kind of you've got almost more control. It's kind of interesting. But yeah.
yeah, yeah, I got I have to say I did have a bit of a smile at whenever we got the external shot of the base with snow because it looked
Yeah.
quite Thunderbirds, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It definitely did.
And the found footage of the Cessna plane just sort of flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, yeah. But
So,
it does actually say right at the beginning, the opening titles about where they are. Right? It says 250 miles north of the Arctic Circle, but it doesn't say where. It does actually say later on that it's Alaska, right? So,
mhm.
but you think, well, the Arctic Circle's massive, right? So it could be anywhere. It could be Russia, or
Yeah.
well, Russia or Alaska. Really, I'll say that it's Russia or Alaska, right? When you get that
Yeah.
far. Um, so
But yeah,
yeah,
I liked
I,
some. I like the present. The like. I like the setup of this mission. This episodic mission that they go on because I like
it's
they're
one of the
given a
few.
team,
Yeah, this
right?
is one of the few episodes they're assigned a case rather than it's an
Yeah.
X Files, so we're gonna go do it. They're actually assigned to go on this.
Yeah, Mulder says, what does he say? He's like, either they hate us or they think that we're expendable. So I guess we'll go.
Yeah, there was some really nice touches to this. Xander Berkeley was Dr. Hodge. Xander Berkeley's like a shitheel in 24. Really good shitheel in the first season of 24, or maybe first few seasons of 24, actually. I think first three. And also a shitheel in The Walking Dead after this as well. In this, he's not so much of a shitheel. He is a bit.
Oh, he
Um,
is. Yeah, he
but
definitely is.
not as much as he is in other stuff. But he's
Yeah.
good. He's a really good actor, and he presents himself well. The toxicologist is Felicity Huffman, who went on to much bigger things in a show called Desperate Housewives.
Hmm.
Um, and she's become a bit infamous because she tried to get her daughter in college and cheated, and it went to
Oh,
all
okay.
sorts. However,
Oh, dear.
she's a good actress, and she gets a chance to show it right near the end where she goes crazy, uh, without
Yeah.
getting into it too much. Yeah, it was kind of interesting, and I quite like the bloke listening to old baseball stuff for some or whatever it was, or football or whatever it was. That made me.
Yeah, yeah. He's listening to old baseball games, right? That was his was it baseball?
I
I don't
think it
know.
was
I don't know
baseball or
American
football.
sports.
I don't really know. I did like
Yeah.
the initial there was a good sort of setup scene of where Dr. Hodge was insisting they show each other's IDs.
Oh, the early paranoia. Yeah,
Just
that
to
was
check
interesting.
we're who we say
Who
we
we
are,
say
which
we are.
that's a great setup.
Yeah.
It
It's a
also
good
had
line.
the comedy bit where Mulder actually checks Scully. I don't know if you noticed this, but Scully's holding
Oh,
her
he
ID
does,
out.
yeah.
Mulder looks over her shoulder to look at her ID.
Yeah,
But I
which
have
is
to say,
great.
whenever Mulder gets his idea, I think of that Simpsons episode where
Simpsons one, yeah.
where he shows an idea and it's him lying
Is he in
naked,
the thong or something?
or
Like,
something. I just
yeah,
think of that. But yeah, that made me laugh. The fact he checked Scully's ID did make me laugh.
yeah. And I
And
like
then,
the introduction of the pilot, right?
yeah, he's already stroppy, right? He's already
Yeah, Bear
stroppy.
shows up. He's called Bear, which is amazing.
There,
I was like,
he's kind
okay,
of
this is
brusque,
our
isn't he? Yeah, yeah,
yeah, this is our Kurt Russell type, right? He's the survivalist. He's going to be all head honcho-y. He's like, I'm flying you out there. I'm not. These are my credentials, my pilot license, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Which
Because when the doctor says, "What can we see your ID?" He goes, "I'm the only one who'll fly you out there. That's your credential." It's like,
yeah.
well,
So it's a
sure,
good setup. It's a good mix. You've got a couple of nerds. You've
yeah,
got people that don't really trust the government because I think it's sort of framed that Hodge, the doctor, and the toxicologist, she's kind of they are both kind of not maybe not anti-government, but they're definitely like we don't trust the FBI that much. They definitely know something that they're not telling us.
yeah,
So that's kind of hence the paranoia side. So that's a good twist. And then there's the kind of innocent, I'm just here to do my job guy. And then
yeah.
obviously the pilot who just he's not interested in anything that's going on.
No, he's just there to fly him out and fly him back
Yeah,
again.
so it's a great mix of
Yeah, a
cast
nice
straight off the
small
bat.
car.
And
Apparently, this was they planned this to be a bottle episode to save money, but it went over budget and was quite expensive in the end, so it didn't really work. But however, the small cast lend itself to the paranoia and sort of closed in feeling, doesn't it? It works really
yeah,
well. And it was so successful they reused this in the X Files really well. You know, Darkness Falls
mhm,
is pretty damn great as well, and that's what 50 episode 20, I think, and this is episode 8. So I suspect they must have known they were onto it before it even aired. They're onto something
yeah,
good. Yeah, and apparently Wong and Morgan have reused this idea in all sorts of series. They liked it. This, a small
it's a
group
great concept.
sort of
Yeah,
shut in and having to deal with that. It would be good to redo COVID-y kind of thing with
yeah,
something
maybe.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that scene. The scene transition too. So like they're at the hangar when they meet, and the pilot's like, "We're gonna fly, gonna fly you there." And as a warning, there's going to be a storm in 3 days' time, so plenty of time to check it out. Right, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then that scene is kind of the last scene that you see daylight.
Yeah. It's all dark
Um,
after that, or they're
it's
inside all the
it,
time, right?
yeah, it's completely you're shut in basically the rest of the episode, and any like external shots, it's heavy snowstorm that you can't see the
Thunderbirds,
sun.
yeah.
You can't see the sun through the polystyrene. Um, yeah, it's really atmospheric. The tension basically starts as soon as they kick the door in.
Yeah.
Um, it's pretty cool.
I have to say, I don't know if you ever notice this, but sometimes there's news reports of, scientists are drilling the ice core and they found a worm,
Oh, every time, yeah,
that's half a million years old. You think these guys do not watch the X Files, do they?
yeah,
But because it keeps happening, it's so weird that that is a thing that happens. Right? It's like, oh my god. But yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah. So
do like
yeah,
the
as
fact
soon
they set
as
up Bear as stroppy right at the beginning because then his behavior doesn't look very abnormal
yeah,
initially, right? That's a nice touch.
very Thing-esque though, right? To have an antagonistic personality in the
Yeah.
team as a normal thing, which it is normal, right? There's always that
Yeah, there's
one
always
guy.
one. Yeah, there's always one.
There's always one asshole, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of works well for that. This kind of story where the paranoia is sort of rife. But yeah, they arrive there and immediately presented with the two guys that were fighting on the tape, and they're both dead. They're holding the guns, and everybody's dead, Dave. Right?
Yeah. And
And
then
they're sort of
the dog's about, but is proper attack dog, right?
well, yeah. So they kind of split up and investigate. Right? Scooby Doo. They're like, don't touch anything. We need to take pictures of the scene. We need to find out what happened here. And then Mulder gets attacked by the dog. that was on the base, and it's like, trying to attack him. Bear tries to help him, but gets bitten in the arm. And then Hodge comes over, and I don't really quite understand where he gets it from, but he gets some kind of anesthetic and knocks the dog out.
Yeah, that
um,
just wouldn't happen because he's a human
yeah.
physician. How the hell does he know what to inject a dog with? That's
How's he got
just
the injector? How's he got any of the material? It
well,
makes no sense. He just kind of gets it, but it's fine. I'll just skip over that.
well. I presume he's a doctor. Is there if they find any survivors, he's got whatever painkillers, morphine, whatever. It's probably just morphine, I guess. But
Yeah,
I
maybe.
do think, how does he know what to inject the dog with? But I
Yeah.
guess morphine would work on a dog, but you might kill it. That's all.
Oh, yeah,
Give
I
it
know
2 hours.
nothing, but I know that there's a lot that goes into,
Yeah.
safe anesthetic of animals, and I don't think just
It's a
jabbing it
TV.
with.
It's a TV shortcut. Straight
It's
into.
fine. So
But
anyway, he knocks the
say
dog out.
something moving under. Well, no, they start examining the dog first, don't they?
Yeah, because they're like, "What the hell? What's wrong with this thing?" And yeah, and then they see that it's got some black spots,
Black spots.
like
Yeah,
bubonic plaguey kind of
yeah.
pustules.
Buboes.
Buma,
Yeah,
is that the name?
and
And
then
then
also a red like it's trying to scratch its skin off around its neck or something. They
yeah,
think they
that's yeah,
surmise
and then you just see the alien kind of
the wormy thing under the skin. Good
yeah,
effect. Good
yeah,
effect.
solid effect.
Yeah,
I
the
liked
effects were pretty solid. Yeah,
I put a note here as well, like crowding around like Alien.
yeah,
Um, again, a really claustrophobic screen of all of our characters essentially huddled over this dog.
yeah,
And so even the way that they're framing the shots is claustrophobic,
yeah.
which I really liked. And obviously this horrible thing going under the skin right in front of all our characters' faces, and they're all trying to see it and crowd around each other. Yeah, it was a really claustrophobic scene, and it kind of explains the whole episode is like that. But it's really well
Yeah,
shot
there's
to
some
be that
really
way.
good touches in here that you wouldn't, unless you're paying attention, you're looking for them, you wouldn't necessarily notice. But there was definitely camera work here that was intended to give a sense of discomfort and unease. Different angles, the low angle when the dog was walking around, for example. There's a
Mm,
bit where, as they're discussing and getting a bit heated, and they're walking backwards and forwards rather than standing still, right? And
yeah,
the camera's
yeah,
following them, so it's handheld, which again gives it a slight sense of unease. That's a trick Oliver Stone used a lot in things like Wall Street. Um,
yeah,
having our camera move in a slightly odd way, but still follow the action. There was a lot of that going on, and it was all you wouldn't even notice it. You just have a sort of subconscious feeling of unease by
yeah.
all of
And
this, right?
there was lots of what would you call them? Red herrings, maybe? Like Hodge was itching all the time
Yes,
throughout the whole
that
episode.
exactly. Yeah,
And
that's
then it comes out at the end of the episode, Hodge was never infected. He was just an asshole.
well.
Um,
They all get a turn to be angry, don't they? Which
yeah,
means everything's
yeah,
everyone's got cover. It's like anyone
yeah,
could be infected.
yeah. It was really clever the way they set up we don't really know the symptoms. We don't know anything. And that kind of means that you can't work it out. Um,
Yeah, and it's never really fully
right.
revealed whether when they get murderous, they're actually conscious of it or not. It kind
Hmm.
of feels like they're not, but I don't know for sure. Um,
It's not explained. We don't know. It's
yeah, because
unknown.
I mean, most of them are acting rational all the way through until things kick off, and then it's like once something triggers, that's it, man. It's kind of like that, right?
Yeah, so it kicks off again, like we were saying, like the time is really tight on the episode. So like Bear gets bitten by the dog, and then the revelations about this. Okay, there's something inside. There's a creature. There's a worm thing inside the dog. Um, it kicks off really quickly. Like Bear suddenly he has these dots on his. He's trying to escape. He's trying to leave, and everyone's kind of heated. Like, well, you can't just leave. Like, you might be infected. We don't know what this thing is. We can't just let you leave. And he's like, I'm fucking leaving. And then they try and arrest him, basically, right? They try and grab him, and they say,
yeah,
look, we've got to quarantine. We can't just have you leave. And he like starts fighting and gets
yeah,
really aggressive. And then they see that this thing is in him, right?
Yeah.
And then Hodge just cuts it straight out.
Yeah. Ooh,
Um,
grim as well, right? That
This
was
is grim, yeah, and it's he's like it's gonna be okay, Bear. Don't worry. He's like "Rah, rah, rah," he's proper like
yeah.
it's horrible. It's proper
Yeah.
grim. And then yeah, he dies. Right, he's just straight up. Was it Mulder says he's like, oh, I just called the raid. I contacted home base or whatever, and they said that they can't get anyone out to us for a couple of days
Yeah,
because the
because he
storm
does
is
it by the
closed.
book. As soon as this kicks off, he's radioing and saying, "Look, we got a
Quarantine.
biological hazard. We need quarantine procedures, and we need getting out of there." But no one
Yeah.
can get there, or he can't even get him on the radio.
which
Yeah,
which I liked as well because they were discussing that, and then obviously as soon as Bear kicks off, he there's no longer a discussion. He takes it out of everyone's hands.
yeah,
I also like that he just probably doesn't trust anyone
yeah,
to do it. So he's good. He takes. I like that. It was a good character moment.
yeah.
Um,
There's a couple of things in this which add to the tension, but also explain the irritability of everyone, which is no one's sleeping. Right? They said
yeah.
we
Oh,
got to
that's
get,
right.
and also
Yeah.
the base thermostat or temperature control is in the fritz, so it's super hot there, which is why everyone's sweaty. Now, sweaty doesn't necessarily translate to script, right? But it does add a sense of claustrophobia. Seeing everyone
Yeah.
sweating, especially in an Arctic base, is makes you feel for them. Makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's
It's really
it's just
cool.
great. They just added so many elements to this that just build and build and build.
Yeah, and in my head as well, I was like, is could it be that they're all infected? And he's just saying something like, he's passing it off as oh, yeah, it's just that the temperature thing's on the fritz. But like, we saw the two guys fighting earlier. They were both really sweaty.
Yeah,
Could it be that like actually it's some sort of group infection? Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know anything throughout the episode, so it's quite
yeah.
good.
Because Dr. De Silva says at one point, she says, "Oh, is it me? Is it really hot?" And Hodge is like, "No, you're not got a fever. The temperature's on the fritz." And he just looks
Yeah.
already pissed off at that point. Everyone's looking tired and pissed off. What might help this episode a little more, and it's a pretty perfect episode, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
is if they'd have made them look a bit more frazzled earlier on, because they're losing their tempers, but they still kind of look fresh. But then as the episode goes,
Right.
they do look frazzled. It's just like when Mulder kicks off, particularly, it comes out of almost nowhere, and he doesn't look particularly frazzled, right?
Yeah, I had
Um,
that same note. So it's supposed to take place over 3 days, and
well,
we
they needed a
see,
better ticking clock than that,
yeah,
didn't they, to make it
yeah.
look?
So they tighten it right up. So you see one night that they stay, and obviously it's like a lot happens in that day, and then the following day after that. But yeah, I kind of agree. I think that they could have done better to because they show us a clock at the start of the episode. Sometimes being reminded, like reminding the audience of the time, could be like a
Like
really,
a ticker tape day two, right?
yeah,
And really easy to do that sort of thing. So that was
yeah,
possibly
indeed.
another flaw, but I can't really call this a flawed episode in any way. It
No.
really sort of delivers.
What? So yeah, so that happens, right? Obviously, the thing he gets killed. Then they're like, right, we need to see if anyone else got infected because it did bite Mulder, but it didn't break the skin.
Yeah.
So let's
And then
all
also
strip
Scully got
off.
blood on her.
Yeah,
Old Zonderberg, Dr.
Hodge
Hodge
did,
got some on him.
and
Uh,
so
you
did
know,
what's her name? Yeah,
Yeah, they all have. They're all possibles, right?
yeah.
Um, the dog is still alive, funny enough, but it has got the alien still in it. But
Well, he
then,
knocked it out, didn't he? Yeah,
yeah, and we
yeah.
see basically they all start thinking Mulder might be the one, and this is where he
Well, no,
loses.
no, no, they don't. They don't. They strip.
Oh yeah,
They all strip off, right? And
they
then they
express it.
find that they're all
Great.
okay.
Do you catch that line from Mulder? It goes, "Don't judge, guys. We're in the Arctic." As he's stripping
Yeah,
away. That's funny.
great stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they check each other, right? They're all fine, and then another funny Mulder line. He had these really serious lines in this episode. Scully says, "Oh well, it's good that we're all okay," and then he turns back to her like. she finally looks relieved. It's been a hell of a day, right? And then Mulder turns back to her. Well, don't forget that the dog's marks disappeared.
Yeah.
So it could be any one of us still. And then he goes and walks off,
Yeah,
goes to
yeah.
sleep.
They don't care.
Oh, brutal.
But in the end, they kind of start thinking Mulder is the possibly
Because
infected.
the baseball guy winds up dead, and Mulder like hears some stuff in the
Oh
night,
yeah,
goes and checks out his body, and they
cut
find
throat.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah, they find him looming over his body, don't they? They're like, "You killed him," and he's like, "I didn't fucking kill him. I just found him." And they don't believe him, honestly, because they're like, "Well, like, you could have the worm in your brain, which is making you
you
might not be
might not even
rational."
know it. Yeah, that
So
line
even Scully
alone
turns on him.
helps make it all even sweatier, right? You might not even know it. There's this
Yeah.
whole thread of we're not who we think we are about the whole thing, right? That's a
Oh well,
cool.
yeah, that's how Scully talks him down because she uses the line that the guy in the video used at the start of the episode,
Yeah.
and sort of Mulder kind of goes, "Oh shit, yeah, that's what he was saying,
Well,
maybe."
she wants to check him, and she pulls a gun, and he refuses, which does get explained later in the episode. But he gets irrational very fast, which kind of makes you think: is he infected? Um, and in the end, they kind of lock him away, don't they?
Yeah, it's kind of great. Like I kind of can't fault anyone. They're all
No,
kind of like, yeah, I kind of can see it from everyone's perspective, which makes it a great, similar to the thing.
yeah,
Everyone's making pretty rational choices, and it makes it quite difficult to see where the wrong is. It's great,
yeah.
good tension.
Uh, but I liked when they put Mulder in a room and lock him in. Scully's doing it, and he just turns to her and says, "I'm
Yeah,
safer in here than you are out there."
that's it. That's what I'm talking about. He has this dark moment where he suddenly becomes, "I'm safer in here than you are," and the door shuts.
Yes. And
It's
Scully's take with
great.
that. And then Dr. Hedge says to Scully, "You're the one with a gun. How if you're infected, we haven't got any
We got a
chance." So
chance.
she
Yeah.
immediately takes I think it's Mulder's gun and their own gun, bullets out and throws them into the snow. Um, just throws them out
Yes.
the door. So no one's got a gun is the idea. Um, So then
Yeah.
they start speculating, and then we see another scene where the toxicologist and the doctor are doing blood stuff, and he asks her to do something, but he's mumbling. And she says, "What?" And then he says it in a really pissed off voice.
He's like, "Oh yeah."
Take the
He's like, "You
blood
fucked
and
it up."
put
Yeah.
put the uninfected blood with the infected, and we'll see what happens. And she fucks it up. She puts infected with infected. So and then she really kicks off when he sort of says, she's like, "Why don't you do it yourself?" And all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. But of
However,
course,
yeah, go on.
that's how Scully finds what happens is that the worms kill each other. They
Yeah,
refuse to share a host.
yeah,
So she
because
figures that could be a way to cure it. They end up killing each other.
yeah,
Um,
because
yeah.
she comes up with the hypothesis that the blood contains the larval stage, a smaller organism, a single-celled organism. Mind you, looking at it, it doesn't look single-celled to me,
No, not at all. It's
but
way more complicated than
um,
that.
and then grows into the worm, and it's like okay, but then she observes them killing each other, and then they even put two worms in jars next to each other, and the worms start to kick off. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
very alien-esque, those
Now,
jars.
those effects were quite good, but the actual worms were real worm. There's a type of mealworm that looks like that, and they use those as well as
Mhm.
model. The things in the jar weren't real worms. That was CG.
No. Yeah.
But
It's
sometimes
very
that
Star
works
Trek,
real
wasn't it?
well.
The
It
bit with
was
the forceps.
putting in the ear, definitely. Rafa
Yeah.
Khan, very Rafa
Yeah, very Khan-like that
Khan.
was. Ugh, it always
Yeah.
makes me freak out.
And then
Um,
they start basically Scully goes and talks to Mulder and sort of says,
well,
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 basically, says, why, you're acting a bit strange. And he says, I don't want to be
I
inspected
don't
by
trust anyone.
them. I don't
It,
trust them. I trust you. And he lets
and you
her,
pulled a gun on me.
yeah, yeah,
That's what he says, which is
yeah.
great. It's just like I trust you, and you pulled a gun on me. So like,
And she,
what?
and
I'm not
she,
going to trust them.
and there's a great scene where he just offers her back and she inspects his back and, around his neck. But as she's leaving, after she does it, suddenly he grabs her around the neck, saying, "Oh, it's kicking off." But no, he's just inspecting it, and she lets him do it. And it's a great bond. This is one of the major bonding things in the X Files for me between the two of them early days. This and it
Yeah.
kind of they do something similar in the pilot. I don't know if you remember. They do inspect each other's
Oh
backs in
yeah.
the pilot because of strange marks that alien,
Oh, that's
abductees
right.
have.
If you've been
So
abducted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Holy
it's
cow.
like it's repeating that as well, like
Yeah. And
and
it
sort of
is early in their like relationship
it
still, right?
is still
Season
early,
one.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Um,
I feel like this one is the one. If you were watching them older, where you think,
maybe.
they're getting
Yeah.
even more trust in each other now after going through this together. They kind
Yeah,
of,
for
this
sure.
is in a sort of experience that makes lifelong friends, isn't it? This kind of
Yeah.
intense experience. It's that kind of business. Uh, so yeah, it's really interesting scenes. Um, and in the end, they suggest they got one worm left, and they think Mulder's infected.
Because they test it with the dog, right? They put
Oh yeah,
the
they had two worms, so they put it in the dog's ear, and the dog
and it
bit.
proved that the dog was okay because it shut out the dead worms and it was fine afterwards. So that's how they know
Yeah,
it
yeah.
will
Worms
work.
can't get into your skull through the ear. By the way, uh, unless they're really thin, I suppose. Um,
Well, they can in Star Trek.
yeah, that's true. However, parasites can link onto the hypothalamus. It's not within the brain case, it's not within the sort of blood-brain barrier. It's outside that, so it is go, blood directly goes to the hypothalamus. So any sort of blood parasite could indeed do that.
Enjoy that one, viewers. Sleep well
Yes,
tonight. Yeah.
yes, enjoy that. Bit of
I said
parasite.
viewers, listeners. Nobody's looking.
Well,
On about.
we're visual. We're creating pictures with our minds here. I
Yeah.
hope not, actually.
I hope
Um,
not. Oh no.
there's also a mention. It did make me laugh, but that Mulder goes off on. Well, they live in nitrogen, and they can live people with surmised extraterrestrial life can do this. Maybe they're from you know out space, and like you can see Scully's like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah.
But he's
And he's
actually
right.
right this
He's
time.
right.
He's right this time. It's absolutely correct. Nitrogen, ammonia can be a gas, as a way to sustain life at sub-zero temperatures. So
Space.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah. Um, so there's also a bit of to and fro out, which I quite like, where Mulder saying we should preserve these to, so we understand them and can combat them. That which is more rational than Mulder. Mulder's usually about we just should preserve them, you know, no argument. But he actually explains it quite well. But Scully's like, no, this is too dangerous. We gotta kill these. Scully sort of gets him out, Mulder's trying to make the point that I'm not infected. Yeah. And Scully like says, yeah, I've checked him out, and he's checked me. And our old Xander Berkeley's kind of, yeah, okay, let's go check each other in the lab
Oh,
and all
but
that.
before that, right? It cuts to her and Hodge outside whilst Scully's in with Mulder, and she says to him, I bet she's going to come out and say that they're fine.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome. Awesome writing.
yeah, awesome
It
writing.
sets up.
She goes, I bet she's going to say, she's going to come up with some excuse and say he's fine. And they're really not fine. We need to do something about this. She
Yeah,
convinces Hodge that
yeah.
they can't be trusted. Yeah.
And there is an earlier scene with those two talking about Mulder and Scully, and they said, "Do you think they knew about it before we even
Yeah,
got
yeah,
here?"
yeah.
And
She's
Hodge is
preying on
like,
his
"Definitely,"
paranoia.
and he's saying,
Yeah,
"Yeah, definitely, they know about it. They're all, government types, all the same kind of thing."
yeah.
So the
So
parent,
she's been feeding on
um,
his paranoia this whole time.
so
Yeah.
Hodge is like, "Yeah, yeah, let's do that." But then he grabs Mulder, and De Silva grabs Scully, throws her in the room Mulder was in, and puts her thing on the door.
Then she
And
gets the forceps out with the worm.
They
And
get
she's
the
going to put
worm
it into
out, wiggly,
Mulder.
wiggly, wiggly worm. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Scully's trying to smash through the door with a massive pair of wire
It's a
cutters. It looks
drilling.
like.
It's a drilling bit, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Is it? She's trying. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a massive
Yeah,
drill.
it's a
She's
massive
trying to
drilling
smash
bit.
through
Yeah,
the door with that, but it's kind of holding him down, and it's slowly getting towards his ear.
yeah, yeah,
But then at the last minute, Hodge sees the weird worm moving across De Silva's neck, the back of her neck, right? So
yeah.
he then realizes, says, "No, she's got it. She's got it."
Kicks her
Uh,
right in the head. Push.
yeah,
She's
and
got it.
she goes mental at that point. So
Yeah,
Felicity Huffman's really giving her all this. She's smashing up a lab and all this kind of thing. Then
yes, it's great.
they let Scully out, and then they go and they put it in her ear, right?
Yeah, they're
And
holding
then
her down. She's proper like, "Rah!"
raging out.
Yeah.
And the next thing we see is we see her being taken away on a stretcher in a hazmat kind of encasement,
Mm,
right? Uh,
yeah.
so the authorities have finally got there, right? And then it's like, Dr. Hodges is like, oh yeah, all our tests have proved okay, so we're fine. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
TV convention, TV conventions. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
being
yeah.
quarantined for a month, easy.
Yeah. Hodge
um,
just, yeah, he kind of just expo dumps. He's like, yeah, so the dog and what's her name's character? Yeah, they're
yeah,
both going to
they're
get
gonna be
taken
in
away for
quarantine.
extra. We're all okay. No one's going to mess with
Yeah,
us.
everything's all right. And
What are
then,
you guys going to do?
yeah, and
It's all casual.
Mulder's like, I want to go back. It's still down there and all this, and and
Oh,
and,
yeah, it's still in there.
and it's like, haven't you heard? That they burnt that site to the ground 45 minutes after we left. Mulder's like, who? He goes, the military,
Is it your
disease
people? You
control.
should know.
You should know. It's your people. And goes off.
Yeah.
And he walks off, and then Mulder and Scully look at each other, and Mulder's like, I want to go back, um, I think Scully says something like, leave it alone.
Well, no, yeah. So yeah, Mulder turns into the dark side again. Like this is like the fourth time in this episode. He turns to Scully and he goes, "It's down there, Scully, waiting." It's and then she just goes, "Leave it there," and then walks
Leave
off.
it there.
And
Leave it
the
there.
episode cuts.
It's
It's a really sick ending. I love it.
Yeah, in many respects, this is also a nod towards like the Quatermass, aliens coming and infecting people.
Yeah.
There's a touch of that. I mean, Quatermass must be maybe not directly, but certainly some sort of influence on the X Files and shows like the X Files.
Hmm.
But this whole, something down there that can infect us is real, right? And this, in many respects, this episode probably resonates more since COVID than it did before that. I'd say, well, disease
Yeah.
just emerging. Um,
Yeah.
so
People being infected and like
yeah,
refusing to quarantine themselves. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, all
that's
of that
it's all
nonsense.
written
Yeah,
in the sand. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Well
I did
acted
want to
episode.
say
Duchovny gives a great performance here. I think
I think
actually,
everybody does. I
yeah,
think the
everyone does.
side cast really
Yeah,
nailed it too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love I love the X-Files, right? And one of my favorite things about it is the unresolved nature of it all. Um, very rarely it does happen. In some episodes, it's clean cut and dry, like we caught the beast, or we killed it, whatever it might be. But mostly it's an unresolved thing, like the killers get away, or in this case, that thing is still in the ice waiting to be taken up again.
yeah.
If the government did the right thing about it, they probably didn't, right? Like I love that ominous feeling when the credits hit of like, oh no, I don't like that. That like horror of just here's this other thing to worry about, It's
Yes,
great.
yes.
It's really,
There's
really fun.
something else.
And they
It's
do that with, we talked about Tombs and Squeeze, right? It's like, oh yeah, you can have all the security systems in the world, but like, what if there was a dude that could be in your vents right now? You
yeah.
know, it's great. I love it, and yeah, yeah. And this is another example of that of just like, yeah, what are they going to dig up in the ice? We don't know.
Yeah.
And like you
It's
said, they're doing
and
it
they
all the
keep
time.
doing it. They keep doing it. It's like, oh God. I mean,
Yeah.
it's absolutely could be weird diseases that we've got absolutely no immunity for because they've never been encountered. in
Yep.
thousands of years. Who knows? It's the same with opening old tombs as well, right? It's kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I think one of the other things that makes this episode such a standout, especially when it first aired, and I saw it when it first aired, is
Mm.
the episodes around it are kind of goofy. The one
Oh
before and the one after.
yeah.
There's a space. There's a
Space, isn't it?
killer computer one before. A
Yeah.
building, which is really always
Oh,
makes
I
me laugh
forgot about
because
that one. Yeah.
that's the one where Mulder and
That's
Scully.
dated
Someone
that
has to
now.
go to events, and Scully just goes up to events. Mulder's perfectly happy for Scully to do all the actions.
Yeah,
Bruce Willis
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And then there's a space one following it, which is bananas. Basically, but an entire episode based on there's a mountain on Mars that looks a bit like a face. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, this just worked really well for
I
me.
love it. I love the serious X-Files episodes. Because like
Yes.
you say, it's I wouldn't say a diamond in the rough, but it's like you don't know what you're gonna get with the X-Files. And like once you're midway through the episode, you know what kind of episode it is and you're kind of locked in. But that first opening to 20 minutes is like the reveal of what kind of episode it's going to be.
Yeah.
And and yeah, by the time you figure that out for Ice, you're deep in the tension. You know,
Yeah.
it's a horrible feeling being in this space with these people.
Yeah, and
It's
like I
great.
said earlier, it's such a great episode, so engaging that it feels like it's really short. But you don't feel
Yeah,
stinted, you don't feel it's rushed. That's what I'm saying. It's like the time just flies by when you watch this one. Um,
yeah,
and you're not looking at your watch or your phone, you're watching this. It's like that. But
yeah.
yeah, I think this was a well reviewed episode too.
It doesn't
It
surprise me,
must have
right?
been. It
Like,
must
yeah,
have been. Yeah, this is a real standout one. Um, but and I guess a lot of people after Squeeze were probably looking for, I want something like Squeeze, and the other one, the ones follow are fine, are good X Files episodes, but they're not the same level as Squeeze. Whereas this is, in fact, it's
yeah.
probably better than Squeeze, in some ways. Especially in dealing with Mulder and Scully's relationship. It just works. It just works.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the episode, definitely watch it. Like we're talking about the tension and stuff like that. You really have to feel it. Like everyone's performance is excellent. Everybody like on the screen looks stressed, tired, hot, grumpy. Like you're saying, like Mark was saying, like uh maybe you could like show them a bit being a bit more disheveled throughout the episode. But
Yeah,
like, yeah, you got to watch the episode. If you've not seen it, it's fantastic,
yeah.
in my
And
opinion.
the direction just builds as well. This is up there with John Carpenter's direction of the thing in terms of direction. I should have mentioned, I didn't know this. I only looking at the Wikipedia. I did not know this.
Go on.
They had a new production set designer join for this episode, and he was the guy who worked on the thing.
No way.
So
Really?
that probably helped a lot.
Yeah, you're not
That
joking.
yes. It's also it's a tradition in the X Files is they do their version of and someone else's story, and this is
Yeah.
probably the first instance of that. Um, Interestingly, one that follows up a few episodes later, Fallen Angel, is almost their version of Predator. Nowhere near as good as Predator, but it's kind of
No,
got that vibe.
it does. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's and the other classic episode I've I can't remember if I mentioned the name, Beyond the Sea, is
Yeah, you did.
kind
Yeah.
of Silence of the Lambs, kind of their take on Silence of the Lambs with a bit more psychic stuff going on. Um,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah. Beyond the Seas, cool, man.
yeah,
Maybe we would talk about that at some point.
yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do quite enjoy for the future episodes that come that are kind of using exactly the same premise as Ice. I think that sort of and this bottle, small group in an isolated environment, has been used again and again throughout TV, hasn't it? There's a
It
great
has.
episode of Doctor Who with David Tennant where they're stuck on a spaceship and there's something outside trying to get in, and people start turning on each other as the tension rises. Same kind of thing. Same kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Or
Um,
the classic Stephen King's Mist, where you're
yes,
stuck in
yeah,
there. convenience
again.
store surrounded by potential death
Yeah, and
by
that people
cosmic alien.
people start forming cliques
And then they
murderously,
find
right?
out that people were the real monsters all along.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is usually the outcome of most of those
Yeah,
stories.
I
But
mean, they all
yeah,
devolve into Lord of the Flies in the end, kinda. So that's
yeah.
what it kind of becomes,
But
isn't
for
it?
me, I guess the difference between Ice and the Thing is that it isn't that people are the monsters, right? Paranoia is a thing, and that whatever the monster is using it as a weapon.
Yeah,
Which I think that those other things, like we're talking about, you're talking about the mist, right? That's like a different thing, right? That's like humans being fearful and creating things to protect them, all that other stuff. But we're talking about a monster that's using paranoia anyway as a weapon. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
the claustrophobic area is a great thing, and like space stations work for it. Like you're in an Arctic base, you might as well be in space.
yeah. It's
A
super
ship, a
isolated, right?
sea, like it comes up all, like you say, it comes up all the time, and it's a good formula. Um,
Yeah,
that I think was great.
isolation and just helps with the paranoia. This is also one of the first X-Files episode that it's a reused thing that sort of invertebrate parasites are a thing. There's 3 or 4 episodes over
Yeah,
all the seasons where some weird parasite is the cause of the story basically.
yeah,
Uh, but
the
this one in
fluke.
particular. I just well, there is that one, yeah, but you really
Yeah,
mean that there's stuff where people just sort of kilo. I can't remember them now, but there are definitely ones where weird parasites, insectile or flukes or whatever, cause or indeed bacteria, cause spurring a
yeah, it's
story.
good. It's good horror. Like the the parasite, like parasitic nature of things, is a good horror. It
Yeah, it's
doesn't get touched on that much
Cronenbergian,
these
isn't
days.
it? It's
Yeah,
Cronenbergian sort of
that's
thing.
right. You don't really see it that much.
And it's kind of
But
cool.
yeah,
They found something that looks like an alien worm that is real because it kind of sort of adds to the veracity of what's going on. Uh,
yeah, and I guess it makes the CGI easier to do, right? Because you
yeah,
can,
because they don't
you've
have
got
to
a
do
real
it
thing to base it on.
sometimes.
And yeah,
uh,
you don't have to do it for the live
so,
shots. Yeah, yeah,
got to state again, which like I did in our first recording, they were
yeah.
the studio execs were looking to replace Gillian Anderson, even with this one.
Crazy,
Um, which is
crazy.
nuts. They
Yeah, she
still
smashes it out of the
felt
park in this episode.
yeah. It's like, what does this woman have to do for you to, she delivers basically. I think Beyond the Sea is what she does, right? And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we got to leave her be.
Yeah, and I guess the audience. I mean, I don't, I guess the internet and the fandom isn't quite the same as it was. Uh, you didn't have forums of people saying, "Oh, no, Gillian Anderson's the best thing ever," right? They just had the network and people, watching it at the network, right? They did like customer feedback isn't quite what it is today, right?
Yeah. I'll also
So
make a point. David Natter, who directed this, and I've pointed out how he's added to this episode in various ways, also directed Beyond the Sea. Um, and that was also written by Glenn Morgan and James Wong.
that's
So,
a great team. It's a
you
great
know,
team.
yeah, they're a superb team. It's just well, it's a 10 out of 10 episode. This for me, easily.
Yeah.
It's just one of the great X-Files episodes. It's so nice that there's some real It's a bit like Star Trek. Some people say, "Oh no, it doesn't get better till season what's it?" It's a bit like Star Trek. People say, it doesn't get better till season 3." Yeah, but there's Measure of a Man, right? There's ice,
Right.
so that
Yeah.
isn't true, is it? Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
so yeah, yeah. Mind you, everyone thought the X Files was good out of the gate. No one thinks, oh, you have to watch a few seasons for it to get good. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
I think we've probably chewed the gum out on this. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's a
Okay.
great episode. Yeah.
Okay. So that about winds up this episode. and I just want to tell our audience, I want to believe.
The truth is out there.